welcome back to another reading video, scholars. Or should I say future first graders? So today we are going to be talking about books, which we always do because it's reading, right? But what I mean is that readers talk with one another about books to better understand them. So let's talk about Thunder Boomer so we can better understand what the author is telling us, okay? Let me set up our book and we'll get started. All right, scholars, I have our book set up. Let's get started. And remember, pay very close attention so you can answer the questions, okay? The day is hot. Dad plows, his tractor glinting in the sun. Tom slaps his feet against the surface of the pond. I sprawl in the shade of the chestnut tree. Scooter pants with his tongue hanging out. Mother comes down the path to settle on the dock. I hope this heat breaks soon, she says. We need a Thunder Boomer. So, why does the mom think they need a Thunder Boomer? What does the picture tells us? Look at the picture, look at the illustration. And you see the land, is the land dry or wet? It's dry, right? The landscape is dry, and you can, but if you look at the family, the dog is lying on the ground panting because it's hot. And the mom, remember when we spoke about onomatopoeia? You see her hat, she's going swish, swish with it, right? She's going back and forth trying to catch a breeze because it's hot. So she's going like this, trying to get a breeze. So it tells us it's hot, it's dry, so they need a Thunder Boomer so they can get some rain, right? Because that's what she means. They need some rain to cool down, all right? Who is Scooter? Did you say the dog? Yes, because Scooter is the dog. Because remember, the author writes right here, Scooter pants with his tongue hanging out, right? And if you look at the picture, the only one with their tongue hanging out is the dog, right? So Scooter must be the dog, right? And we can see it right here. It says, is the panting of the dog, and it helps us know it is hot. All right, let's read our next page. Suddenly, there's a soft touch tease. A leaf tips over, and then another. Feel that breeze, says Tom. Scrambling to my feet, I stretch my arms and try to catch each welcome gust of wind. But then the air turns chilly. Dark clouds hide the sun. The wind stirs up the pond and rustles through the corn. Mother looks around and says, it's time to head on back. A storm is on the way. So, what is a soft touch tease? Think about it. You see, a soft touch tease is a light breeze, because the author writes, a leaf tips over and then another. So it tells us, it helps understand that there's a light breeze going on that's tipping the leaves over, right? So how is it teasing them? You know, how is the breeze teasing the people, the characters, right? You see, they want some relief, and the wind is just giving them a little bit of relief, right? Because before, mom had to try to make her own breeze with her hat because it was really hot, and then the breeze came and it was less hot, right? It helped them cool down. So, and it leaves them wanting more. That's why it's a tease, because it's so hot. There's just a light breeze that comes and go, but you're still hot. It gives you a little bit of relief, but you're still hot at the end of the day, right? So it's teasing them because it's not fully cooling them down for the whole day. It's just a tease, all right? Let's go on to the next page I want us to read. Thunder rumbles all around. We run up on the porch, and Tom and Scooter joined us. The last one in is Dad. He bounds across the yard just as the clouds crack open. Then, as if someone's turned the faucet on, the rain comes gushing down and down and down. So what are the ways the author used to describe the rain and the storm? You see on this page, the author is using figurative language, right? And imagery in the book, right? Because he said the rain is like a faucet, right? And the sky cracks open. Does the sky really cracks open like a bag of chips? No, so that's figurative language because it's using something that's similar to help you picture what's happening, right? So how is rain like a faucet? You see, when you turn on the faucet, right? When you turn it on, water gushes from the faucet. Similarly to, rain suddenly coming out of the cloud overhead, right? So that's what it means. That's why the rain is like a faucet. It's not a drizzle. It's a lot of rain coming down at once, just like when you turn on the faucet. So what does gushing mean or sound like? What do you think gushing mean? You see, gushing mean a fast pouring liquid. Like let's say you're thirsty and you go and you get some apple juice and you are pouring it in the cup and and you're pouring it very fast and you could accidentally spill it, right? So gushing is like that when you are pouring a liquid very fast. So maybe I could gush it into my mouth and go like, all right, so that would be like gushing because I poured it really fast in my mouth, right? So how does the illustrator help us understand what the author is describing? Look at the picture, look at the illustration. How the person who did the illustration is called the illustrator, right? So how did he help us understand what the author is describing? You see, if you look at the illustration, the illustrator helped us understand that by showing us the rain and stuff. You see how it's falling really fast, and it's showing us how it's like the faucet, right? And it shows us how the storm, and it shows us the storm and how it changes over the course of the story, right? He gave us the sound effects and the actions of the characters. It adds to the buildup of the storm, right? As well as the end of the storm. So the illustration is helping the author tell us the story so we can imagine, picture it in our brain. So it's not just words on a page. We can see it and visualize it and see the actions, right? So we're gonna start with our story right here. And I'm gonna show us what your have-to for today is, okay? Let me get it set up and we'll get started. All right, scholars, here's your mission for today. Are you ready? Yeah? All right. So you have to write about how do the illustrations and Thunder Boomer help the author in telling the story, all right? And this is how you'll know you succeeded, because you will have at least 2 to 3 sentences to help you explain how the illustrations help the author, okay? If you have 1 sentence, you're not quite there. 2 sentences, that's good. You could stop, but if you want, you can write 3 or more sentences, okay? So if you have 2 to 3, you're good. All right, and remember, your sentence have to have a beginning and ending, has to have a capital letter and a punctuation at the end, or it's not a sentence. And if it's just 2 words, that's not a sentence. 2 words don't make a sentence. So you need to have more than 2 words in a sentence too, okay? And when you are all done, you have to do RazKids for 20 minutes, all right? That's your mission for today. So, are you ready? Yeah? All right, get ready, get set, go.